Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our /malicious compliance. In today's episode, Malicious Compliance, Immigration Law Edition. I used to work there. Hair has to be tied up. Okay. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Malicious Compliance, Immigration Law Edition. This is a tale of how I maliciously complied my client into a much better visa route after the Home Office refused her first application. I'm an immigration lawyer in the UK, and if you don't know anything about our immigration system, it's just a mess. The rules are tough, often cruel, very complex, and there's very little flexibility. It doesn't matter how sympathetic someone's circumstances are, if you don't meet all the rules, you're not coming in, even if it's to join your family. Even if you're an elderly person who just wants to spend their final years with their British children. Especially if you're an elderly person who just wants to spend their final years with their British children. Enter Doris, not her real name. Doris is a 93-year-old Australian citizen who lives alone in a nursing home. All her children are in the UK. Doris had a modest wish, to move in with her daughters in the UK and spend her twilight years with her family. She was in pretty good health, but her continuing isolation led to anxiety and depression, especially after she was the victim of a robbery. So Doris did what she thought was the right way of going about it. She applied to move to the UK as an adult dependent relative. What she did not know was that this route had almost impossible requirements, so tough that only about 5% of these applications are actually granted outright and a further 5% succeed on appeal. So the odds are pretty terrible, and you don't get the £3,250 application fee that you paid back if it's refused. Alongside financial and relationship requirements, she had to show that she required continuous care with everyday tasks like dressing and cooking for herself, and that this care is not available in Australia. She could meet neither of these rules, and her application was refused. The refusal letter made a point of emphasizing her excellent health, important for later, as evidenced by the letter she included from her doctor, completely ignoring the parts about her anxiety and depression. This is when she approached my firm for help. Now, appealing this decision would have been a waste of time. She clearly didn't need constant care with everyday tasks, and any care that she might have needed could be found in Australia. But after speaking with Doris, we realized something. Not only was she a Commonwealth citizen, as a citizen of Australia, but both of her grandparents were born in the UK. So we hatched a plan. The plan. What Doris didn't know is there was another visa she might be eligible for, UK ancestry. To meet the requirements, she had to be a Commonwealth citizen and have at least one grandparent born in the UK. Done and done. However, this was technically a work visa, so she had to intend to work in the UK, and she was very much retired. The thing about the UK ancestry route is that the Commonwealth citizenship/UK born grandparent requirements mean that, overwhelmingly, the people who qualify for this route are white. And because our immigration system is somewhat racist, that means that many aspects of this visa are very generous or even lax compared to other routes. You get a 5-year visa straight away instead of having a 2.5-year one that has to be renewed at extortionate prices before you can qualify for permanent residence. Even the application fee is lower than other categories. Crucially, when it comes to the work aspect, you don't need to be sponsored by an employer, you don't need to work a certain number of hours, the work can be on and off, and even volunteering counts as work. This will be important later. The malicious compliance. You say Doris is in such great health that she doesn't qualify for an adult dependent relative visa. Okay, cool, she'll apply for a work visa then. Since the work could be volunteering, she reached out to a community center in the UK and offered to volunteer at a lunch service they provided for the elderly. The center was thrilled to have a new volunteer and wrote her a letter confirming this. After preparing all of the other documents, including some going as far back as the 19th century, like her grandparents' birth certificates, we were almost ready to go. All that remained was our covering letter. After outlining how she met all of the requirements, I couldn't resist quoting from her previous refusal letter about her excellent health and explaining that given that, Doris would now be working in the UK. I also provided details of the few hours a week she would be volunteering at the community center and reminded them that their own guidance says they cannot discriminate by age. Her visa was granted and she has now joined her family in the UK, as she wanted all along, and all she has to do to apply for permanent residence in 5 years' time is volunteer for a few hours a week. It's worth pointing out that the reason the adult dependent relative rules are so stringent is because in 2012, the Home Office decided that it's costing the country too much to allow elderly parents to settle here as they were considered a drain on the NHS, our universal healthcare system that is free at the point of use, so the rules were changed to make it almost impossible for them to move to the UK. This is despite the fact that prior to the rule change, only about 2,000 people used this route to move to the UK. But there was nothing they could do to stop this 93-year-old in excellent health from joining her family here on this work visa. I used to work there. Working in a call center, I take a call. Me, good afternoon, Widgets International. How can I help you? Mac, hi, this is Mac from the Widget King corporate office and one of our customers just walked off with one of the widgets you sold us. She didn't pay. Me, okay. And how can I help you with that? Mac, I want you to put a flag on the widget and give me a call when it's sent to you for servicing. Me, do you have the serial number of the widget? Mac, no. Me, do you have the account number of the Widget King retail location involved? Mac, no. Me, have you contacted the police? Mac, no. Me, well, there's not a lot we can do. We don't have a good way to keep track of the ownership history of widgets once we sell them, so we can't really flag anything. Mac, no, I know you can. I used to do it when I worked for Widgets International back when it was only the National Widget Company. Me. Having actually worked at the National Widget Company back in the day, I know this is bullsh*t, so. Me, great. I'm pretty new here so I don't know how to do that, but since you do, you can tell me. Mac, oh, I don't know, it's probably changed since I worked there. Hair has to be tied up. Okay. This isn't as grand as most of the stories here, but I just had to share. This was some years ago when I used to work in a restaurant. The owners, Alice, Mom, Debbie, worked with us. Debbie loved to act like she owned the place and she got to tell us what to do. She constantly micromanaged, lectured us, yelled at us, and got after us for the most minuscule of things. Alice let her do it because, you know, she was her mom and she couldn't tell her no. There were a few things Alice put her foot down on, but mostly just let her do what she wanted. Debbie was a nightmare to work with, even when you didn't share the same shift with her. Some time later, we had apparently gotten a complaint about hair in our food. This was only once and Debbie was there. She was right in saying that we had to have our hair tied up even if we had a hat on. For those who don't deal with long hair, any loose strands can just stay in your hair and fall out at random times, so it is best to tie up your hair when around food. The malicious compliance came in when Debbie pointed me out specifically. Now, I was still closeted, so everyone knew me as a girl. The issue is that I had short hair. Like, Pixie cut short. There was no way I could tie it up. Still, Debbie told me that I had to tie up my hair if I'm around food. My coworker, Liz, lit up. She happened to have a ton of those small rubber hair things. Liz offered to do my hair for me, which I accepted. By the end of it all, I had at least 5 small ponytails all around my head. I couldn't wear a hat as they all stuck out. Debbie told me I didn't need to have my hair tied up, but I insisted. After all, she pointed me out and said everyone had to do it. She made the rule, so it's only fair that I follow through. I finished my shift like that and she never said anything to me about my hair. She was still a nightmare, but it was at least one less thing to worry about. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.